Hey everyone, Jim and Chris back with another update. Cannot believe it's already the end of the year. Want to make sure we wish you a happy holidays. This is always kind of a nice update of the year with a recap. And Chris and I had a pretty interesting weekend this past weekend. We had about 60 international investors join us here locally to see the market. And it was a great reminder for us to realize something. And that was we've got some good things happening here in Florida. And you and I try to keep up on that. But we don't always remember that. And we're going to talk about a few of the things that we saw, the ahas that Chris and I had on this 3-day period, going out into the trenches with people with a totally different outlook on our market, outside looking in. The first thing for me, which was huge, Chris, was where they were coming from. They don't really have a lot of opportunities to invest in quads.
True. Yeah.
That
Well-
was really interesting.
Well, and that's pretty common across the United States as well.
True.
There's very few specific quad communities that are developed. It's just not a standard. It's just not a standard product because national home builders aren't building them for retail buyers. So since we cater to investors, we have to have that product. But it's not a normal thing. So.
Yeah, and I think we knew that, and even when we were getting into it, but again, you get used to doing something, you forget it. And, a lot of these people coming from different areas, but I know greater Toronto area, these are experienced real estate investors who are out looking, and they just don't get that type of opportunity. And even with the looking, one of the reasons some of these people were here, not only internationally, but from other parts of the U.S., was the constant reminder of landlord laws. And it was kind of funny at one point. We're touring around and we're on the buses, and Chris and I kept switching buses to kind of get to interact with both groups. And they were both buses were amazed at the eviction process here.
Yeah.
They actually joked and thought we were making it.
Oh yeah. Well, we had some folks from California and from Toronto.
Yeah.
And they could take 12 to 18 months, to get somebody out of a house, and or 45 to 60 days in the state of Florida. So, it's just one of those things you take for granted in being in a landlord-friendly state that believes in property rights.
Yeah, it's nice to be here. That's one thing I forgot, because I remember I was in California years ago, but until I started to hear the stories and the concerns of why are people coming from so far away, that was really a great reminder. And just for our international people, we hear all these issues and stories about the U.S. dollar, and I'll be the first to say, I don't like our debt. I don't like all the things I'm seeing. But from what, they were sharing with us this weekend, they want exposure to the U.S. dollar. They think the U.S. dollar is still the safest haven to where to park their money.
Yeah.
And for that to still be a backbone for what we do, coupled with, we want to bring to the U.S., but be in areas of strong landlord laws. They said Florida was just kind of, the tall poppy there.
Yeah, absolutely.
It just stuck out.
Well, and I think the other cool thing was for the international folks was the finance program that you found, which was interesting. Even their local financing isn't nearly as good as what you found for the international investors. Yeah, it's well, and not to mention, what's the length of their loans?
Oh, 5 years.
5 years, a max.
Yeah, financing, it's 5-year max. And two of my good friends, Nick and Tom, who brought down a lot of the investors, we've been friends for 15 years. Oh, more than that. And we've always said, well, why don't we do something? But we just didn't feel right about paying cash. It's kind of almost we don't believe in it as real estate investors. We gotta leverage a little something.
Yeah.
And
as they should.
Yeah. And, but until within the last 18 months, we've never seen programs. Not only didn't we see one program, but like 3 different international programs come up.
And one of them's 30-year fixed.
30-year fixed, yeah.
Which is, which we haven't seen before, but certainly they don't even get 30-year fixed in their own country for primary. So that's just an amazing opportunity.
Whole different outlet. So we're excited to see that. Again, we're in the trenches. I don't know if you and I have been in the field together for 3 days in a row like that in quite a while, because we're both handling different things.
There was a COVID gap in there.
There was. That's true.
So we didn't have busloads of people coming in for a couple of years. So
true. But now that was a good reminder of the type of product that we're focusing on. The areas, again, I love the compliments of the areas, because look, Chris and I, when we used to do our bulk foreclosure investing, we were not anywhere as close to nice areas. And I think that gave people more encouragement when they're coming from far away. The US dollar, where I thought, okay, yeah, we have problems, but to hear international people say, no, we're still bringing it here to be with you and have the financing support, that all put all the chips together. And I'm more excited going into 2024 than ever before. I don't know about you, how you feel right now. It's this morning I woke up, I see one of the first reports is something from ING. I texted it to Chris and some of our leadership team right away. And ING, pretty reputable financial institution, released that they believe the Fed is going to reduce rates 6 times in 2024. I mean, what do you think of that? What will that do to what the overall real estate market, build to rent? What do you think?
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, even if they did half that, even if they reduced them, 3 times next year, it would just be, phenomenal. I mean, there's still a huge demand for, for properties. But, what you see right now is you see a lot of people sitting on the sidelines, a lot of folks that are, not wanting to start new households, meaning, you got kids that should be moving out of their house that are going, I'm not sure about how this economy is going to go. But once they start seeing the Fed, starting to reduce rates and realize that it's not going to get worse, you're going to start seeing consumer confidence pick back up again in the housing market. So you're going to see, demand pick up for both rentals and for retail home buyers. So I think it's, all those are going to be very, very positive, impacts. Any decrease in interest rates is going to be positive for the housing market.
Which is interesting too, because I know we've talked about different scenarios. I've tried to look, but I'm not really seeing a point in time where we've had this type of expectation that rates are going to start to drop, and we've been at below inventory levels that we need. So that's really exciting. So the level of inventory, as a lot of you know, is still relatively low. So for Chris and I, obviously, with the building projects we're doing, we still don't have enough inventory right now for even the highest rates in 24 years. So we're saying, what could happen in 2024 if we're still below inventory levels and there becomes more demand? Well, there's going to be even more need for us to do our building projects.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Well, we're just now, starting to get caught up from COVID. I mean, it seems like COVID was a long way away, but there was such a strain on the market, that, we're still working our way through some of those delays, in 2023 still. So, I think, you start to get into 2024, there's a part of me that's almost a little scared that, we get back into that whole, cycle where it's hard to get materials and it's hard to get labor. That could happen again. Obviously, our business model is, was very impacted by that during the COVID crisis. So we're trying to put as many units as we can on the ground right now to get prepared for that eventuality, which is great for all of our clients. We're trying to make sure we have inventory available for our investors, which I think, which the other cool thing is, I want to invite people back.
Good point.
Come visit, as we toured all these properties this weekend, and, we had, some existing clients as well as some new clients. And the existing clients were, they're like, wow, these are all new stuff. I came last year and, we didn't look at any of the same things. So, so there's a lot of new stuff that's coming online that I think is worth coming. So come visit.
We love visitors. In fact, as you know, my biggest advice to anyone out there when they are starting to invest in real estate now, or, seasoned and going into a new market, if anyone you're working with, building houses or such, encourages you not to visit the market, that's a red flag.
Yeah.
We love visitors. Come visit us, come out, see the projects, see the team, get in the trenches. For selfish reasons, we've got a pretty big and high buy rate when people come, because I think it gives them the comfort, the confidence to really understand what we're up to here. And that was the feedback that we got from the group that was with us. So we want to make sure that into next year, whenever you'd like to come, please just set with your sales consultants a tour. We love to show off the properties and our teams, and it really does give you, one day in the trenches is worth like 30 days of just reading. So please come visit us. We'd love to have you. And again, being at the end of the year, I just want to make sure we wish everyone a happy holidays.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's been a long year. It's been a good year. We've withstood together interest rates, property management growth, going into new markets, finally getting the back inventory of COVID done, as you said, a new merger with a great new partner, which we didn't even get to talk about with Brightland being able to support us and Sumitomo with our financing needs to build. The shackles have come off where other good builders, they really are tied. And, thanks to you and some of the things you were working, we don't have that right now.
Yeah.
So, and hopefully our goal is to pass that down to you guys with what we're planning in 2024 with new projects, new investor incentives, more management initiatives that we're putting on the ground. And hopefully that's going to help you and your family enjoy times like now in the holidays. And I can't believe what we've grown to, especially in the last few years. But we did want to say thank you. We appreciate you putting your trust in us, and please continue to do so. Reach out so we can continue to work on any good things that you want more of, and any issues you have, we want to make sure we clear them. But thank you again. Happy holidays to you and your whole family from Chris and I both. And we'll look forward to seeing you guys in 2024.
Next year.
Take care.